Joined by Jason Leblebijian of the Lugnuts, I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. First things first, you were one of 3 Lugnuts who faced Aroldis Chapman. Before you even step in the batter's box, how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, anytime you face a big leaguer, your approach is just, you're giving 3 of your best swings, and, if you hit it well, you look good no matter what. So that was really my approach, and especially a guy throwing that hard, it's just, you don't really see that every day. So your approach is just go up there and get 3 pitches in the zone and hack, and if something happens, it happens. But if not, you just tip your hat to him because he made good pitches the whole at-bat. So.
Anything you would compare that to for anyone who has not faced 99, 100, 101? What is that like standing in against that?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of guys have faced 99, 98, things like that. The thing that makes him so effective is how tall he is. I to be honest, I did not expect it. I got in the box and it almost looked like he was going to high-five me when he threw the pitch. But he's got to be 6'6", 6'7", and throwing 90, 99, 101 with that height just gets on you so much quicker. And it's just getting started as early as you can so that you don't have to rush through your swing. You could just stick to your approach. So yeah.
Toughest pitcher you've ever had to face, or is there someone else who made you even more uncomfortable?
I'm not sure. That's a good question, to be honest with you. Just certain guys, they might be really, really effective, but you just pick the ball up well against them. So it just depends. But obviously, in the top of the list of toughest guys I've faced.
We saw you in your draft year in 2012. We saw you last year. This year, your defensive wizardry, and then you're popping the baseball too. Let's begin defensively. What is the best defensive play you've ever made?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I would have to say it was actually my junior year summer. I was in the Northwoods League, and I actually made a Jeter-esque type play. It was just deep in the hole, and I didn't think much of it, but I was in the grass. I just backhanded it, just kept running, kind of just chucked it up in the air, and it just went straight to the first baseman. But, those are the types of things you got to work on during batting practice so that you could actually, feel confident doing them in the game. Because every ground ball you feel in the game, is not going to be perfect. You don't know, where it's going to be hit or things like that. So just keeping that loose mentality. But that was definitely one of the top plays I felt.
That's something that I don't think people realize is you not only practice those routine grounders, you practice the highlight reel play. You've got to be ready for it. Was there one that you first made when you were real young where you go, aha, light bulb clicked on, I'm ready, I'm able, I'm up for the challenge whenever I'm given it?
Honestly, it was definitely that spin throw up the middle. When you're playing short and that ball's hit up the middle and you get it and you spin and you just throw it in the air. I remember making that in high school, actually, for one of my buddies. It was kind of funny because I made an error earlier in the inning and then I made that play to save a run. But that was one of the first plays that I made at short to where I was like, okay, now I could expand off of this and start making, more plays range-wise.
From defense to offense, in the batter's box this year, you're not only working the count using the whole field, we're seeing the pop as well. Was there an adjustment you made? Was there some way that you entered the season, a different sort of offensive approach for you this year?
With working with Huck, it's been amazing. And to be honest, I haven't tried doing too much. I haven't tried swinging harder than normal. I do know in the off season I put on 20 pounds, which definitely helps. So playing at 200, 205 now, definitely that muscle I'm starting to see add a little bit to the balls I'm hitting, which is awesome. But just working with Huck, it's just trying to keep that consistency of just barreling it up, and he always uses a thing with me: just keep the power out of it. And, just make contact and it'll go. And with that, I've just, it's amazing how you start seeing the progression of balls taking off and things like that. And, I'm hoping that just continue to work with him and hopefully it continues.
When did you first meet Ken Huckabee?
Last spring training, I believe. It was his first year. I didn't work with him very much, but this spring training towards the end when I found out I was going here, I started to work with him quite a bit. And, we're totally on the same page. It's amazing, two-way street, which has gone real well. We're really trying to stay away from mechanics, just sort of, more approach and things like that, and getting early on time. And so far, it's been an awesome relationship to have.
That relationship is fascinating to me. Like watching him work with Matt Dean and Mitch Ney last year and then moving right up with them. And so a second-year hitting coach for them. But for you, this is your first year with him as a hitting coach. And the idea of approach and not mechanics. When you go into a series or when you go into a game, do you want to see the video for how you look in past games, or do you just want to go out there and swing?
I think it depends. One of the first things, personally, I'm not a huge video guy, but one of the first things I do like to see is where was the pitch. I think that a lot of times, dictates what kind of swing you're making and things like that. Because I do know, a couple nights ago I got jammed on a pitch and we looked at the video and it was a ball inside. So, just more so staying off that pitch rather than trying to make the adjustment of hitting that pitch, is more of our goal, which it's been amazing so far.
When a fan comes out to the ballpark, let's say they've seen the Lugnuts before, let's say they've never seen the Lugs before, what do you want that fan to take away from your performance?
Just playing the game the right way. Just hustling down to first. Always communicating, trying to be a leader on the field. Just kind of being that team guy who's, always trying to do the right thing and always trying to pick teammates up. And, believe it or not, it's always the big situations that, I want to be in. And I've been striving off that all year and, bases loaded, things like that. And, that's kind of the thing the fans remember is the guy that got that big hit and things like that. So hopefully it continues throughout the year.
You've served that role of being a team guy. You were captain in college, I believe, 2 straight years. And so here with the Lugnuts again, what does that mean to fulfill that leadership role? What does that ask of you?
For me, mostly vocally, I'm not going to tell guys things to do and things like that. Everyone kind of knows exactly what their role is and what their goal is this year. And, you kind of stay out of that path. One of the things I do, and I'm sure a lot of the guys would, agree with, but I keep it real loose in the locker room. I'm always making jokes, things like that, and just trying to keep them loose and just remind them that it is just a game. But other than that, it's just setting a good example, playing the game the right way, and if it just takes one guy on the team seeing me, run hard down to first base, and next time they do it, they run down hard, that to me is just the impact that I want to make.
Jason Leblebijian, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, and this is Lugnuts Baseball on Big Country 92.1.